Good day everyone, thank you for joining me on Tokyo. My name is T. And here we are reviewing another Yo-Yo Empire. You know them, you love them. They're one of my favorite companies in the whole yo-yo space. And they've been doing this series which has been called by Sunset Rider Roddy the Wind series, because all of the names of the yo-yos have to do with wind. So I just have to say, all these yo-yos have been really blowing my mind. So today we're going to be looking at the Yo-Yo Empire Eurus. So is this one yo-yo that's going to blow your hair back? Or is this a yo-yo you could knock over with a stiff breeze? Okay, let's take a closer look at the Yo-Yo Empire Eurus. So the shape is a really hard H you can see here. There's a slope that goes down into the gap, and then there's these big thick rims with some little tiny cuts here and there. This is an absolute complete H shape through and through. In the cup here you have a nice open zone to catch for finger spins. The edge of the cup here, the rim, is pretty thick for extra rim weight, and then past that you just have a zone that goes into your aluminum finger spin catch zone, which works absolutely beautifully just like it does on all Yo-Yo Empire throws. The material is palm, which has been machined to perfection. Oh my goodness, this Wind series, the Notice, this, and a couple of the other of the Wind series, that just feel fantastic in the hand. The feel is extremely comfortable. Now, H shapes are pretty much designed, I think, to be comfortable, right? They are ergonomic. You have these two fingers which can rest on the rim, middle finger goes in the gap. But something about this H shape, even though it looks quite angular, is really comfortable. The look is super striking. It has this almost old school kind of feel with these huge rims. It almost reminds me of like a more extreme plastic version of like a Superstar or something like that. And the color combo is great. You guys know that I love green. I always talk about how it's one of my favorite colors. This deep forest green on the yo-yo is just beautiful. And then you have the finger spin catch zone, which is silver. Just everything about it looks really nice. I've also got a gold bearing in there, which for some reason just, I think, complements the whole thing. So let's talk history of the Eurus. So this is the second yo-yo in the series, which good friend of Tokyo, Sunset Rider Roddy, has called the Wind series, because there are 4 of these yo-yos and each of them is named after a different direction of the wind. The Notice, I believe, is the south wind. The Eurus is the east wind. I had actually seen this yo-yo on Toybania and I thought about picking it up for a while, and then I saw it at Spin Gear and they had a lot of different colors, so I just decided to go to the store and try it out, and once I had my hands on it I knew I just had to have it. It was a little bit more expensive. Toybania had them for cheaper, but Spin Gear, you know, you could go in and try it, so that's why I decided to pick it up there. But I really like this series of yo-yos. There's 4 of these: the Boreas, the Notice, the Zephyrus, and the Notice, and all of them play quite differently. Even though they're in the same series, they almost remind me of like the Benchmark series, because they're all working with palm. They all have this similar finger spin catch zone, but they're all based on the same general specs, but they all feel completely different. And it's been really fun to play these, and I'm trying to resist buying a Boreas 2 in the palm right now. I have one in polycarbonate, but that black palm looks real nice. This thing feels really light. It's actually super easy to move, which I didn't expect. You know, usually H shapes are a bit on the heavier side, taking advantage of that rim weight, trying to push stability and spin time, but this thing is light and it moves super quick. It does feel a little big. You might notice that when you're playing with it. It does feel like it's a little bit on the big side, but not too big to be uncomfortable. It just feels like it fits in the hand really well. This thing is extremely smooth. I actually ended up putting a new bearing and new pads into the Notice. I actually have a video on that, how to replace your response pads. But I found that changing the response pads and messing with the axle a little bit gets these things absolutely butter smooth. The smoothest plastics I've ever played with. I'm not kidding. And it just blows my mind, because these things are like 20 bucks on Toybania, like 30 bucks around there at Spin Gear. Like, it's insane that you're getting this smooth of a yo-yo for that low of a price. It just kind of blows the quality control of most companies just out of the water. It's incredible. So for string play, this thing is really nice. It's got a nice wide gap, so it's easy to land on the string. It's nice and stable, so you're never gonna have to worry about playing that much, because like I said, it does feel light. It lands on the string softly. You never have a sense of a thud or anything like that. Grinds on this thing are spectacular. Your finger fits in here really, really well. And because the stability of this yo-yo, there's something about it. It just lands, and there's no hint of it wanting to move at all. And you can barely feel it spinning on your finger. The grinds are exceptional. Finger spins are perfect, as I mentioned on the Notice review as well. There's no difference here. Your finger lands in there. Even if you land on the edge, it just guides you into the center. Even if you try to shake it off, it's just really, really good at finger spins, and it's really good at maintaining finger spins for a long time. The bearing it came with was a bit noisy, so I actually did end up taking that out. Besides the noise, there wasn't really a problem with the bearing at all. I just wanted to be able to play it at night when my baby was asleep. But usually with the Yo-Yo Empire throws, that happens. They're kind of quiet at first, and then they're pretty loud after that, and then if you play them for a long time, they quiet down again. But as far as the playability of the bearing, there wasn't a problem at all. One thing that you might want to think about when you pick this up, and I noticed it after I picked up the Notice as well, that you would probably want to change the response pads. These are Joker pads that I have in here right now. It comes with the kind of generic white response pads that the Yo-Yo Empires come in. On this series of yo-yos specifically, I've had 3 in the series now. They've all been a little bit slippery. So for the Notice and for this one, I noticed they were slippery right away, so I changed them out with Joker pads, and they've been playing fantastically since then. But yeah, you can basically look at this as an H shape of the Notice. It's really cool that they got it to play so similarly and so cleanly, but at the same time, it's just a really, really comfortable, awesome plastic. It's pretty much a perfect EDC. Next to the Notice, I expected the Notice to be way more comfortable because of the rounded shape, but even the sharp H here just feels great in the hand. And I just feel like that whole Wind series, the Notice, the Zephyrus, the Eurus, and the Boreas are just perfect EDCs because they play like beasts. They're absolutely dead smooth. They grind, they finger spin, and they're super cheap. So even if you mess it up, just order another one. But at the same time, they feel so nice and so premium, even for like a palm plastic you're getting for 20, 30 bucks, that I would be really sad if I put a ding in any of these. So I'm extremely careful with them. So for pros, as I said, it's super cheap. This comes around $20 to $30 depending on where you're buying it. Either way, it's absolutely worth the price. I'd pay $50 or $60 for this thing, honestly. It grinds beautifully, as I said. It lands on your finger and there's no sense of tilt at all. The finger spins are fantastic, stable, long spinning, no complaints there. The deep green is gorgeous. I love this green color, especially on the plastic. Something about it just feels really premium. I love that you can tune these. A lot of times when I'm working with plastic yo-yos, I find that they're really difficult to tune, or tuning doesn't really seem to help. But taking these apart, all of the Wind series, and working with them, trying to get them smooth, just seems to work really well. They respond really well to tuning. And coming off of that as well, this thing is absolutely smooth. This and the Notice, after I tune them a little bit, they are just butter smooth, and it blows my mind. It feels so unique. I love that there's this extreme H shape, which kind of harkens back to an older H shape with these really big rims, but it also has this a little bit updated design, but that it's also in a palm plastic. Like, you don't see yo-yos like this, and that's why Yo-Yo Empire to me is one of the best companies out there, because he's just designing yo-yos how he wants, and he's designing yo-yos that are interesting and new and fun. And you know, it doesn't matter if it doesn't have to be a bimetal $200 drop near to be fun and to be a good yo-yo, and that's what I think is amazing about Yo-Yo Empire. As I said, it's a great EDC. I think this has been an everyday carry for me. It's been in my bag for over a month now. It plays well on the string, it grinds, it finger spins, it does everything you need it to. It's a really, really capable yo-yo. One con I guess I could say is you might want to change the pads out. They're not the most slippery. If you put like a thick kitty in there, it might be okay. But I want to be able to play with strings that are thinner or strings that are softer, so I changed the pads out. So your mileage may vary. And this isn't a knock against the yo-yo specifically, but amongst the Wind series, the Notice, the Eurus, and the Zephyrus, which I'll be reviewing sometime soon, this one feels like the spin times may be the most limited of the 3. If you give it a really, really hard throw, you're not going to have a problem. But between those 3 yo-yos, that feels like it's got the least spin time. But it's got more than enough to get me through all my tricks and combos, so it doesn't bother me even a little bit. I think the Eurus is good for anyone who wants to pick up a really cool plastic, who wants to pick up an EDC yo-yos that feels super premium, and to get a Yo-Yo Empire throw that does everything you will need it to do. And the nice thing about the Wind series is that you can get whatever shape you want. The Zephyrus is a V shape, the Eurus is an H shape, the Notice is a definite O shape, and the Boreas is kind of one of those more sloped H, kind of modern organics. So whichever shape you're looking for, you're going to be able to get one, and they all satisfy totally different needs. So if I'm feeling like I want an organic, I grab the Notice. If I'm feeling like I want something more blocky, I'll grab the Eurus. If I want something more heavy and sporty, I'll grab the Zephyrus. So it's just really nice that they all cover so many different bases. So no matter which one of these you pick up, you're going to have a great time. But I think if you're a lover of the H shape and you're a lover of super, super high quality feeling plastics, the Eurus is the way to go. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching today. Please leave me a like, please comment, please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget, I'm over at Yoyo Store Rewind. I have a lot of reviews over there. Go check me out. And I want to give a huge shout out to CLOZEE for the use of their song Koto, which I used as the intro for this review and for the outro. It's a fantastic song, and I think it's the absolute perfect theme for Tokyo-Yo. So please go check them out. I have links in the description. Go give them some love. All right, take care, have a nice day, and sayonara.